This week on the Local Music Show podcast, we have some kick-ass concert announcements to tell you about. We're sending out some well-deserved respect to the late Aretha Franklin, the Queen of Soul, but yet so much more than the title, and also to a local dear friend of the show. Get ready for a not-so-fast-moving episode of the Local Music Show podcast. And yes, everyone, it is with a very heavy heart that we must announce the passing of the late, great Aretha Franklin, the Queen of Soul. And we do have the details on those concerts coming to town very soon. I am Derek Diamante, along with the Ron the Legend and Jose Almonte. And this week, we will also be joined by our Local Music Show podcast contributor, Esteeb. We're going to talk about our dear friend, Rob Arendt, who you can see every day performing locally. He is a guy you don't want to miss. We're going to talk about him. You don't want to miss that. So go ahead and get something to drink, settle in, and let's get going. We're here with Ken Urquhart, president of Highland Consultant Services, and we're talking payment processing. Ken?
Since October of 2015, small to large businesses, restaurants to retail, merchants have been, let's say, managing their chargebacks. And I get it. The cost to implement the necessary requirements is oftentimes way more than the cost of managing these chargebacks month to month. Cardholders and issuing banks have become wise, and they know if you're still swiping, they will automatically win. Stop that nonsense and stop losing. Trust me, it won't cost as much as you think. And I'm no stranger to payment processing here locally. I have the right connections and the right processors for your business needs. Stop losing and start winning. We service restaurants, retail, e-commerce, high risk, and mobile merchants. We have got you covered.
Give Ken a call at 561-704-3680, or you can find him on our sponsors page at localmusicshowpodcast.com. Highland Consultant Services is a Local Music Show podcast approved business established in South Florida. 561-704-3680, and let him know you're a Local Music Show podcast listener. Legendary, iconic singer Aretha Franklin, the Queen of Soul, has passed. She was surrounded by family and loved ones as she has lost her battle with pancreatic cancer. She was 76, and her last performance was in November for the Elton John AIDS Foundation. Aretha Franklin was nominated for 44 Grammy Awards, winning 18 of them. Her biggest hits were songs like Respect, Natural Woman, Think, and Chain of Fools, among many others. She was the first woman to be inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, very well deserved. She was named the greatest singer of all time by Rolling Stone in 2010, and we will dearly miss the Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin.
Welcome to the Local Music Show podcast weekend update for Thursday, August 23rd through Sunday, August 26th. Tonight, you can see Eclipse with opener Chemistry at Clematis by Night beginning at 6 p.m. Des Duo is at Bradley's at 6:30 p.m. It's open mic night at Matthews Brewing at 6:30 p.m. And Sweet Justice is at Square Grouper at 8 p.m. For tomorrow, August 24th, Eric Ryan is at Two Georges at 5 p.m. Emily Brooke is at Bradley's at 6:30. B-Side Band is at Matthews Brewing at 8 p.m. And Wonderama is at Square Grouper at 8 p.m. For Saturday, August 25th, Chad and Heather are at Deck 84 in Delray Beach beginning at 2 p.m. Diogo das Virgens is at Two Georges in Boynton beginning at 4 p.m. String Assassins is at Bradley's at 6:30 p.m. The Flyers are at Square Grouper and Jupiter at 8 p.m. And Spread the Dub is at Matthews Brewing at 8 p.m. For Sunday, August 26th, Jawzilla is at Deck 84 in Delray beginning at 2 p.m. Crazy Fingers is at Matthews Brewing at 2:30 p.m. Crazy Train and your co-hosts, or my co-hosts I should say, Derek Diamante and Jose Almonte with full band Crazy Train are at Two Georges beginning at 4 p.m. Moonshiners are at Bradley's at 6:30 p.m. And Jim DiBattista is at Square Grouper at 7 p.m. you'd like to hear your favorite band or venue added to the Local Music Show Podcast Weekend Update, contact us at TheShowGuy at localmusicshowpodcast.com. Come out and support local music. Say hi to the Local Music Show Podcast crew. Have a beer with us. Enjoy the weekend. Don't forget Sunday Fun Day. Let me tell you what I did. Today, I pulled a couple of music topics off of the headlines. Mm-hmm. So I pulled a couple of those out. And then I really want to talk about concert experiences or musicians you've met experiences. Mm-hmm. I really think that's going to be entertaining to the listeners.
I need to think who have I met.
We can talk about any of those. Mm-hmm. I've got a list of them. You know, like I said, I met. Well, I'll give you a couple of them, and we can decide who we want to use, right? So I've met Stevie Ray, and I have a story of meeting Stevie Ray. Mm-hmm. I have Paul Rogers, one of the best rock voices ever. Mm-hmm. I have Kenny Wayne Shepherd. I have Charlie Daniels. I have Richie Blackmore. I have a Butch Truck story. Mm-hmm. I've got Zach Wild. I have a Zach Wild story. Yeah, I mean, I have a bunch of them that I could go through.
I've got a couple major concert announcements.
One definitely need to announce both of these.
Sammy Hagar,
yeah,
and the Circle,
yep.
And then the other one.
Which, by the way, I have extra tickets for.
Really?
Who's playing guitar for Sammy?
He is Vic Johnson.
Vic Johnson. Been with him for a long time.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome.
The other one that I wanted to talk about is Billy Gibbons of ZZ Top. He's doing a solo tour, and he has a date at Pompano Beach Amphitheater.
That's cool. Absolutely,
Yeah.
Would love to see that. I've seen ZZ Top. Lindsey Buckingham is one of the stories that I pulled up. You know, being kicked out of the band.
Yeah,
he's starting a tour the week after Fleetwood Mac starts their tour. He's starting a solo tour, and so I printed up just a little blurb on that. Hey, this is Brian Smith from Girlfriend Material, and you are listening to the Local Music Show Podcast. Crank it up. I have something on the Velvet Underground. Has a multimedia experience that has a bunch of videos and stuff. It's in New York, but it's you go in and experience Velvet Underground, which I thought was a badass band.
Are they the ones with the guy with the funny hat and the shade and the nose?
That was with
Humpty Dance.
No. That's a Velvet
Digital Underground.
That's Digital Underground.
Sorry, I got them.
Yeah, Digital.
Velvet Underground had
Humpty.
The Humpty Hump is the chance to do the hump.
They call me the Hump. I like my old
Velvet Underground.
It's something about Digital
Yeah.
Underground, but the Velvet Underground
I like
with
to hump thee.
Lou Reed.
No, Velvet Underground is the
Lou Reed.
Is the singer from
It's Lou Reed.
Velvet Underground.
Lou Reed.
No, it's the singer from
Lou Reed?
No,
it's not Lou Reed.
Yeah, it is.
Lou Reed, right? Esteeb? No.
Esteeb?
Esteeb says yes. Senor.
You are incorrect, sir.
Velvet Underground is. I'll tell you right now.
Velvet Underground is a rock band.
From
It is
like the
not
60s.
Lou Reed.
Like from the 60s, no?
All right. Well, then
Are you thinking of Velvet Revolver?
yes.
You don't.
Really right now?
I hope you're recording that.
Holy shit. What are you talking about, Velvet Revolver? Velvet. Holy shnikes.
Yeah.
Wow.
You guys are, by the way, you're peeking the board like a.
Hell yeah, it deserves to be peaked.
didgeridoo. I'm gonna freaking
Oh, that was hilarious.
swing spank.
Oh man.
Velvet Underground is not weed. So what's happening with Velvet Revolver?
Nothing is happening with Velvet Revolver.
So what are you?
So wait a
What's
minute.
going on?
All right.
It's not the Humpty. It's not the Humpty dance.
All right.
It's not the one with the Lou Reed.
Turn it all you down. You fill my ears up.
So what do you want to say about Velvet something?
Suck my.
There's nothing to talk about. We just went around in a circle for nothing.
Let me tell you. Velvet glove. See what I'm doing here? Ex-nay, underground day, velvet day.
Okay. And we're moving on.
I have Roger Daltrey stories too. He did an interview with Rolling Stone, and there were a couple of interesting questions I thought.
That were interesting.
Yeah. Interesting. All right, can you guys hear okay?
Yes, Lou Reed.
Jose, you know it very, very well. Derek, you know it very, very well. I think this is a topic that the audience would like to hear because it's not something that they come in and they enjoy a show. They don't necessarily understand what's happening behind the scenes, and you guys are constantly,
We're thinking of how to provoke them.
You're thinking of reinventing or provoking the crowd, whatever that means, whether that's a new song or changing how the song is played, or doing something to keep things interesting. And I like the fact that you guys do a trio occasionally or a duo occasionally, because you know what? That forces you guys to think differently.
Yeah, it does.
Right?
And it makes us do different songs as well.
And it makes you do different songs, which ultimately end up in all the shows, and it keeps things rolling.
Keeps it rolling, keeps it fresh, keeps it different for us too. Because I mean, you can get bored playing the same songs every
and
every time
people
we
get
play.
bored of hearing the same songs all the time.
Right.
So
and when we start jamming, it's just whatever comes up, and you just.
I think that's the part that keeps our shows fresh, is because it's the jamming parts that is always different for us, or is not always the same.
Right.
Even though we try to keep it consistent, with maybe the timing of what we're doing, the actual playing is not always the same. But because I've often thought, well, how is it that we're playing the same songs, but yet the crowds keep getting bigger? How is that? But there's two things that we have going for us, is because we are playing classic songs that do stand the test of time, and then the other thing is that whenever we do the jam, that's the part that we're keeping fresh.
Right, and we also have fun playing it too. That's the thing.
And people enjoy that element.
They
of
like
our
seeing.
show.
They like seeing us having a good
Thank
time
you.
and enjoying it. Because
you are
if not,
absolutely
if we're bored
right.
up there,
Right.
No,
they're gonna get bored.
Absolutely. What you guys feed off of the stage feeds to the crowd. So if you're having a good time doing it, then people around you are feeling that energy, and they're feeling that excitement, and I was at a show the other day, a show that I wasn't intending to go to, ended up at, which
All
is
the way
very
down.
south of me. And you know what? And I left.
It was a drive for me.
And I said to you guys, "Hey, I'm out. Peace out. Have a great show. I'm going to go."
Yeah.
So I'm walking to the parking lot to my vehicle, and I hear you guys start to play Dream On. And I'm like, son of a bitch. I turned around. The second I heard the notes, I turned around and I walked back into that bar and I said, I can't leave yet. Because I've seen you guys perform the song, and as powerful as the song is, Jose's vocals are really in the forefront of that song, and I am a fan. As much as I am a sound guy, a musician,
part of the band,
whatever you want me to be, I
am also a fan.
I am also a fan. So I'm leaving the venue, and I hear the first few notes of the song, and I have to come back in and I watch it. And I saw a couple of people that I was hanging out with, and they're like, "What the hell are you doing back here?" I'm like, you have to hear this song. You have to hear Jose sing these notes, and the power guitar and the power drums, and that solid bass line. You have to hear this. This is not something that you hear every day. And
true.
It's very true. You hear the original version of that, but to hear somebody able to reproduce those sounds
every single time,
and
that's what gets me.
And be able to
Perfectly, by the way, Jose.
Yeah,
that's what gets me every single time.
and be able,
then come back in on the chorus again. Just
be able to be able to hit those notes. It's something special to see and experience. It's not like you're listening to it from the radio. So I want to give you guys respect and props.
That is a
because
great song.
I've seen it happen many times, and me as an avid listener and supporter, the second I heard it, I'm like, I can't leave yet. I have to go back and I have to watch
and
this.
You've seen us play that song many times.
Many times.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those
many
things that we played like this Sunday when we played it. I got emotional. I don't even know why. It was like something came to me. I was like, oh shit, I can't hit this note at this point.
And these
it was something that just happened for some reason.
And Jose, these are the moments that, as a fan, and not just me, but all fans that come see that, they connect with.
Right.
They connect with the personality behind the emotion, behind this musical experience that they're having, and that's what makes people come back. People relate to, Derek's big guitar and your big vocals and that rhythm section that's solid and
powerful.
And very
strong,
powerful.
and very upbeat.
And it's very positive. The whole thing is a positive
it is.
experience. And listeners react to that. And that's why Crazy Train is a popular band and growing in popularity.
Continues,
It's because of that energy, that you allow others to feel. It's that experience that you are enjoying that you convey to the crowd. The only reason I do what I do is because I'm a fan.
Right.
And
to the core.
If I were musically inclined enough, I would have my own band.
Right.
But I don't.
Ron's the human fleshlight.
I don't know about that.
Welcome to the Weekend Update Recap for August 23rd through August 26th. I'll be announcing our venues from north to south. Tonight at Square Grouper, Sweet Justice at 8 p.m. Tomorrow at Square Grouper is Wonderama at 8 p.m. Saturday, the Flyers are at 8 p.m. And Sunday, Jim DiBattista is at 7 p.m. All at Square Grouper this weekend. Tonight at Clematis by Night on downtown waterfront in West Palm Beach, you can see Eclipse with the opening band Chemistry beginning at 6 p.m. Bradley Saloon in downtown West Palm Beach. For tonight is Death Duo at 6:30. Friday, Emily Brooke. Saturday, String Assassins. And Sunday, Moonshiners. All times 6:30 p.m. At Matthews Brewing in Lake Worth, beginning tonight is open mic night at 6:30 p.m. Tomorrow is the B-Side Band at 8. Saturday, Spread the Dub at 8. And Sunday, Crazy Fingers at 2:30 in the afternoon. For Two Georges in Boynton Beach, Friday, Eric Ryan at 5 p.m. Saturday, Diogo Das Virgins at 4 p.m. And Sunday, full band Crazy Train with my co-hosts Derek Diamante and Jose Almonte. Full band Crazy Train at Two Georges at 4 p.m. Deck 84 in Delray Beach for Sunday is Jawzilla at 2 p.m. Come out and support us at Two Georges this weekend at Crazy Train. Say hello to the Local Music Show podcast crew. Have a beer with us. Enjoy Sunday Fun Day. We'll see you this weekend.
Man, let me tell you what I want to say to you guys about Rob. He is perfect for this show. His song "Rain," that was such a good song on the show, man.
Yep,
it really was.
And you know what? I've watched him a couple of times live since then, and he's plugged our show every
No
single
kidding.
time.
Yeah.
And he was out, not even playing. He was in Lake Worth, and he went to go see 4 bands in Lake Worth at different venues. And he plugged our show to all those
every
bands.
one of
Like, you gotta get on this Local Music Show podcast. It's good
Sweet.
stuff. It'll help promote you. This is good. He is selling for us.
He's really behind it.
He's
isn't he?
absolutely behind it. He loves it. He loves our show. He believes in it. He believes in what we're trying to accomplish, and he's helping us do that. And,
That's awesome.
And you know what? We should have him on the show again.
Oh,
just,
Yeah, we will, for sure.
just because,
well,
you know.
I don't know if you've noticed, but whenever I need to fill time, I go to his page for content because he's always posting stuff that with just him jamming and it sounds good.
I'll tell you what. What's really cool is he does these little clips when he gets bored at home. And he records himself, and he does.
I've got one coming out this week.
He does 90-second clips of him just plucking on something that came into his head, right? And that's very cool stuff. He's extremely talented and probably one of the and please don't take offense to any of this. Probably one of the most creative and talented people that I know in the South Florida music scene.
Oh yeah.
But he doesn't get enough credit. But the fact of the matter is, extremely talented, and that's the type of talent that we want to promote on this show.
Well, and either which way you look at it, he is truly living life on vacation.
Well,
I mean, really,
how many of us are full-time musicians?
Right.
Yeah, not many.
Everybody would
Not
love to
many.
do to live their life day to day, have a full-time job of
It's
playing
not an
music.
easy
and-
life, dude.
No,
it is
not
not
at all.
an easy life.
But you would love to be able to do that.
Well,
and
he
then
has
be able to
he
be
has a very
successful at it.
supporting wife and family, and he's able to sustain his lifestyle doing what he
that.
loves.
And if-
and
and-
God bless him for doing that,
Right.
because not many people can do that.
And if he wasn't good, he wouldn't be able to.
Are we talking
You know.
about Rob?
No
Yeah.
doubt. Yeah. I mean, even if he loses a show somewhere, and it's not because of lack of talent, it's just because, you play things at the same venue for so long. The venue needs to change things up
Right.
occasionally, and,
Exactly.
and that's just the nature of the business, and
Things
that
come and
happens
go.
to him regularly, and he doesn't sweat that. He just goes and gets
And
another
gets
gig.
another one.
He's
And-
always
and-
working. He's always rolling. He rolls with it.
There's always another gig for him, and he hustles to get that, but he's good enough to get it, and that's what's
Right.
important. He does this Michael Hedges type of slap
Right.
neck guitar, right? And he has a song called Punch that he uses as an intro to Rain or to one of his other original songs, because it's an original song, but it is of the style of Michael Hedges, right? Because he loves to take the artistry and creative process from artists that he's influenced by and integrate that into his own personal music, right? Which is great to hear. So, and it changes for him. So every 6 months, you can hear a little something different out of Rob, which I think helps sustain his solo career, right?
Right, because that way he's not
because
always,
he probably
doesn't
knows
stagnant.
He
and
probably
playing the
knows
same material
1,000
all the time.
songs, literally, honestly, and he probably knows 1,000 songs, or he could
Or more. Or more.
make his way through 1,000
Right,
songs.
right.
So what he does, and what do you play at each venue to keep things fresh and not get stale? Is you reinvent yourself every
going through
few
different
months,
styles.
and you inject a different guitar. You play a different guitar. You play a different style. You do a different loop. You do something different to keep it creative for yourself. But at the same time, you get that entertainment by watching that. I mean, it's something different. So he's feeding you the same, yet different all the time.
Yeah.
Which is what's awesome about Rob. And we don't.
Every
we
time
don't-
you watch him, he's just he's the guy you want to sit and film. You know, and just every time
you don't see that all the time.
No, you don't.
The bands that you go to see, that you love to see, are doing a lot of the same, and it's great. But guess what? In a year from now, if it doesn't change, it starts to lose its luster.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Right? And that's why you guys evolve and you add songs and you drop songs from set lists.
Right.
And any band that's playing regularly needs to do that. I mean, there are songs that are no longer relevant. There are new songs that need to become relevant, and to stay in the cycle of things,
right.
in the musical cycle, you have to adapt.
Keyboards right there. Like, I'm playing next to Chris Rante. I gotta come up with a trick. So I use my lighter.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rob Arendt. And we do want to send out some extra support to our dear friend Rob Arendt. He is a true talent, and you can catch him performing every day in South Florida. If you'd like to see Rob performing, or if you'd like to book him, email us at TheShowGuy@localmusicshowpodcast.com, and we'll get you in touch with Rob and his agent. Thanks again, Rob. want to thank everyone for spending your valuable time hanging out with us each week at the Local Music Show podcast. We cannot thank you enough for your support and your sincere dedication to the show, to our bands, and to our local hangout spots. Be sure to catch our roaming Local Music Show podcast microphones. It's a great way to get yourself heard on the show and instantly become popular among others. Interact with the show by emailing us at localmusicshowpodcast@gmail.com. Join the conversation on Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Send us an email if you'd like to add to the conversation or if you have a show idea. We'll be back next week and we look forward to seeing you this weekend. I'm Derek Diamante for the Local Music Show podcast, signing off. Have a great weekend, everyone.